The dinosaur fossils that the country once spent hundreds of billions to excavate are now piled up in a corner like garbage. Even experts say this stuff is trash that not even a dog would want. But the moment I saw it, I decided to make it my first beast. Ye Xiao must be crazy. That's just a pile of rotten bones. Even his girlfriend broke up with him, and he really thinks he's a genius.
They don't know that I have bound the Fierce Beast Illustrated Guide Beast System, which detects ancient creature remains. After the host touches them, it can replicate the juvenile form and complete the contract. The higher the integrity of the remains, the purer the bloodline. I raised my hand and pressed it on the fossil, and a series of panels instantly popped up before my eyes. Target creature, Shadow Spirit King, Kirin attribute, characteristic, immune to fire damage. Detected remains completeness, 1%. Would you like to immediately replicate a perfect juvenile? I didn't hesitate at all, and chose to replicate directly. Host's first replication of an Emperor level creature, rewarded with 30% completeness of ancient griffin remains. The next second, a completely silver-white young beast appeared in front of me, its body covered in silver-white scales. Just being near it, the scorching aura made my palm tingle. I activated the long-dormant soul energy, forming a contract mark in my palm. Together with the little one, we will conquer this world. I raised my hand and imprinted the mark on its forehead. The moment the mark made contact, blue smoke rose from the back of my hand. The contract was established, detection successful, and the Imperial bloodline was bound. At the same time, the sky above the academy changed dramatically, with clear skies instantly swallowed by dark clouds. A super high-level bloodline fluctuation was detected, covering the entire academy.
She thunder roared, and a terrifying aura swept in all directions, startling the entire academy. What level of spirit beast has emerged? This pressure is too terrifying. In the dean's office, the dean was staring blankly at my enrollment information. Special grade soul power qualification, but unable to contract any spirit beasts. What a pity. But the next second, a thunderbolt struck outside the window, and even he stood up abruptly. Dean, this energy fluctuation, could it be that someone is contracting a spirit beast in the academy? To cause such a phenomenon, it must be at least a dominator level. Dominator level? However, after the dean closed his eyes to sense it, his expression completely changed. No, this fluctuation has already surpassed the dominator level. It's at the legendary level. He initially thought Zhang Fan was just lucky, but soon he realized something was off. This wasn't Zhang Fan's soul power fluctuation. The dean suddenly opened his eyes, his voice deepened. It's actually him. The next day, the autumn test began, and I was scheduled to go first. A useless person who can't even contract a spirit beast and yet is the first to be tested probably just wants to use their special soul power aptitude to get some attention again. Amidst the mocking laughter, I calmly walked onto the platform, ready to step onto the soul power testing stage. I took a deep breath, stepped onto the stone tablet, and in the next moment, the stone tablet's light surged and the energy within me exploded. Wait, this soul power fluctuation is strange. Lu Xingyu glanced at me, her expression becoming peculiar. Next item, Spirit Beast Bloodline Level Test. What? She wants to test the Spirit Beast Bloodline. Could it be that this waste has already contracted a Spirit Beast? Even if he really contracted a Spirit Beast, its bloodline wouldn't be that high. Yesterday, Zhang Fan contracted a Dominator-level Spirit Beast. The crowd below was in an uproar. Liu Xingyue just slightly furrowed her brows. No need to pay attention. Summon your Spirit Beast. I slowly raised my right hand, with only one thought in my mind. Today marks the beginning of Mai, and its name resounding throughout the school. Come out, Pikachu. The next second, a completely snow-white young Kirin proudly landed by my side. Its body was covered with snow-white scales, and just standing there, it exuded an aura of pressure, not belonging to ordinary beasts. This spirit beast is so beautiful. Just by its appearance, you can tell it's extraordinary. The expressions on the faces of those waiting to see me make a fool of myself suddenly froze. And Liu Xingyue, who was closest to it, looked more serious than anyone else. Only she knew how domineering the power hidden beneath this elegant exterior truly was. She raised her hand, and a bloodline detector appeared in her palm, aimed at Pikachu's forehead. The moment the detector touched it, a strong light surged, and then, under the watchful eyes of everyone, the instrument exploded on the spot. Broken? Isn't that supposed to measure up to the Overlord level? Liu Xingyue stared at the Pikachu beside me. Even her voice paused. This Spirit Beast's bloodline level is above Overlord level. As these words fell, the whole place erupted. Damn, this guy pretended to be a waste for 2 years. He was holding back for something big. No wonder yesterday's celestial phenomenon was so exaggerated. It turns out he really caused it. Liu Xingyu nodded at me, indicating I could leave the stage, but I stood still. Teacher Liu, I applied to become the challenge competition's champion. As soon as I finished speaking, the entire square fell silent again. Is he crazy? A mere 9th grade Beastmaster, daring to defend the arena right after contracting a Spirit Beast. Any student can participate in the Academy Challenge, but once you apply to be the Arena Master, it means you have to accept all challenges. In the past 100 years, those who have successfully defended the arena are few and far between. Are you sure? I'm sure. Before Liu Xingyu could announce it, Zhang Fan from the audience couldn't hold back and jumped out. I want to be the challenger too. He leapt onto the stage, staring at me as if he wanted to tear me apart. Since you both want to be the challenger, then have a match first. The winner will stay, and the loser will leave. Do you dare to fight me? Why wouldn't I dare?
I laughed loudly, and Pikachu's body was enveloped in a burst of golden light, carrying me directly to the center of the challenge arena. On the other side, Zhang Fan snorted coldly and summoned his own beast, a robust silver wolf that crouched menacingly at his feet. Kid, you're too arrogant. So what if your spirit beast has a high bloodline? I am an 8th rank peak beastmaster. My soul power and control are beyond your comparison. Can you stop the nonsense? The audience is getting impatient. The battle for the arena master starts now. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Fan immediately ordered the silver wolf to attack. Mingyu, go for it. But I just smiled and patted Pikachu's little head. The next second, its imperial bloodline erupted with a roar, activating the intimidation skill, suppressing all creatures with a lower bloodline. In an instant, the silver wolf that had just charged out was directly pressed to the ground by the pressure. It couldn't even lift its paws, let alone attack, and could only lie there whimpering. Without even making a move, Zhang Fan's silver wolf was down. This isn't a fight, it's clearly a bloodline suppression. Mingyu, what the hell are you doing? Attack, you useless thing! But the silver wolf was trembling under the pressure, and the next second it turned into light particles and was forced to retreat. I couldn't help but laugh. You don't only have this one useless creature, do you? You're looking for trouble. He gritted his teeth and summoned another spirit beast. The next second, a gigantic, oddly shaped giant ape crashed onto the stage. Isn't this the primordial beast given to Zhang Fan by his father? That's not right. Isn't an 8th grade beast tamer only able to contract 2 spirit beasts? Then who caused the celestial phenomenon yesterday? Could it really have been Night Owl who caused the celestial phenomenon yesterday? It seems this guy really wants to shake off the label of being useless. The discussions from the audience were like needles piercing into Zhang Fan's heart, but instead, he smiled because his giant ape happened to have the talent to ignore bloodline suppression without the bloodline pressure. Let's see how arrogant your hybrid can be. As soon as he finished speaking, the giant ape roared to the sky, its fist as big as a sandbag wrapped in flames, charging straight at us. I'll make you face reality right now. I didn't even bother to dodge, just watched as Pikachu took a step forward. The next second, a mass of blue-green flame suddenly erupted from its body, and the heat wave instantly covered the entire arena. The giant ape was swallowed by the sea of fire in an instant. It struggled frantically, desperately clawing at its body, only to realize that the flames were burning not just its flesh, but its soul as well. The giant ape couldn't hold on any longer. Within a few breaths, its eyes rolled back and it collapsed with a thud. Zhang Fan's smug expression froze into a lifeless grey. How is this possible? How could I lose? I am an 8th grade beastmaster. He clenched his fist so tightly that his knuckles turned white. Teacher Liu, can the result be announced now? In the silent square, my voice was particularly clear. Liu Xinyue looked at me, her expression extremely complex. The winner of the Arena Master Contest is Night Owl. Wait a minute. She suddenly stepped forward, staring at me with malice in her eyes. You thief, you stole the spirit beast I brought back from Demon Valley and dared to use it for the test. No way, his spirit beast was stolen. It's not impossible. He couldn't contract a spirit beast for 2 years, and just when Zhang Fan lost something, he suddenly had one. The atmosphere in the venue shifted instantly, and the curses were almost all directed at me. Liu Xinyue frowned slightly. She knew very well that the eggs Zhang Fan brought back from Demon Valley couldn't possibly hatch, but since Zhang Fan was the Vice Dean's son, she remained silent. Looking at his silence, I suddenly laughed, and the next second I raised my hand and slapped Zhang Fan directly on the face. You dare hit me? Sure. As he raised his hand to fight back, I grabbed his neck with a reverse grip, then slapped him again, knocking him to the ground with a nosebleed. He's crazy, daring to hit Zhang Fan in public, the son of the Vice Dean. At that moment, a cold snort suddenly echoed in everyone's ears. What a ruthless kid. As soon as this voice appeared, all the students instinctively shrank their necks. It's over. The Vice Dean is here. A flash of white light, and a middle-aged man in a suit had already landed on the stage. Liu Xinyue, seeing the situation turn, quickly greeted him and stepped aside. I have never seen a student with such despicable conduct as you. He stared at me intently, his pressure unabashedly bearing down, but I didn't even blink. Director Zhang, I'd like to hear what you mean by despicable. Zhang Fan lost the match, and out of anger and shame, accused me of stealing. Are you really going to disregard right and wrong for the sake of your son? Zhang Fan usually throws his weight around in the academy, and no one dares to intervene. But when Zhang Yagu just glanced over, those who spoke up for me immediately fell silent. It's normal for students to get injured in sparring matches, so I won't take sides. However, since Zhang Fan accuses you of theft, as the Vice Dean, I have the responsibility to find out the truth. He spoke righteously, but in his heart, he wished he could take Zhang Fan back and pamper him again. Lost is lost, yet he still dares to bite back in front of the whole school. But now he can only grit his teeth and cover for his son. I never wrong any student. After saying this, he turned to look at Zhang Fan on the ground. Zhang Fan, explain clearly in front of all the teachers and students why you are convinced that Night Owl stole your spirit beast egg. When Zhang Fan heard this, he immediately understood his father's meaning. The spirit beast egg I brought back from Demon Valley was blue. After dinner yesterday, I returned to the dorm and found the egg missing. Moreover, before dawn yesterday, Night Owl hadn't yet formed a contract with the spirit beast. But as soon as my egg disappeared, he suddenly succeeded in forming a contract. With so many signs in front of us, if it wasn't him who stole it, who else could it be? The more Zhang Fan spoke, the more convincing he seemed, as if he was almost fooling himself. So Night Owl, do you have anyone who can prove the origin of this spirit beast? Or can you prove that you already had it before yesterday? Watching this father and son act in concert, I found it laughable. If you want to accuse someone, you can always find a reason. Who in the entire academy doesn't know I have no friends? Who does Vice Dean Zhang want me to find as a witness? Zhang Ergo was secretly pleased, but his face appeared even more just. So you admit you can't explain the origin of the spirit beast? After he finished speaking, he looked directly at the audience. Those who share a dorm with Ye Xiao, stand up. We saw him sneaking into Zhang Fan's dorm yesterday. A few boys immediately raised their hands. I recognized them at once. They were all Zhang Fan's cronies. Tell us everything you know. If anyone deliberately frames someone, I will not let it go lightly. The words sounded grandiose, but under his signal, those people acted more and more vigorously. I saw him enter the dormitory with my own eyes. Yes, I saw it too, there's no mistake. Suddenly, everyone's gaze towards me changed, so it really was him who stole it. The witnesses have come forward, now it's hard to clear my name. But Zhang Ergu still wasn't satisfied. Is Lin Yunjia here? A familiar name in the crowd made my fingertips pause slightly. Lin Yunjia walked up to the stage from the crowd, looking flustered and flattered. I heard you and Ye Xiao grew up together in the orphanage, so you should know his character best. What do you say about Ye Xiao's reputation at the orphanage? She was obviously stunned for a moment, but after hesitating for just a few seconds, she chose a side. Night Owl often stole things since childhood at the orphanage, so I've always despised associating with him. At that moment, it felt like a knife was stabbed into my heart. I never expected that the person who followed me since childhood would push me at a time like this. Night Owl, the evidence is conclusive. Do you have anything to say? Destroy your spirit beast contract immediately and return Zhang Fan's spirit beast. I slowly raised my head and looked straight at him. You say this spirit beast belongs to Zhang Fan? With a flash of light, Pikachu appeared by my side again. With both witnesses present, do you still want to argue? He looked at Pikachu, and there was even a hint of greed in his eyes. If it weren't for all the people here, he might have wanted to claim it for himself, on the spot. I suddenly laughed. Who told you? I only have this one spirit beast. As soon as the words were spoken, the sky suddenly changed color, clouds churned, and thunder roared. Everyone was frightened by this sudden phenomenon. The next second, a dark figure swooped down from the sky and landed steadily in front of me. It was a strange, fierce beast with wings, exuding a menacing aura. Another one, he actually has more than one spirit beast. I looked at Zhang Fan with a cold smile. Zhang Fan, this spirit beast is also yours. Zhang Fan's face turned pale, his lips trembled, and he couldn't utter a single word. Even Zhang Ergo's expression changed. He clearly didn't expect me to reveal such a high-level trump card. Just as he was about to mobilize his soul power, a voice suddenly descended from the sky. What a lively scene! The celestial phenomenon gradually dissipated, and the clear sky reappeared. At the same time, a figure descended from the air, standing on the arena. Dean, the wings behind the Dean are soul wings. He is already a 4th grade beastmaster. Han He smiled, his gaze sweeping over the 2 spirit beasts beside me, his eyes growing deeper. Seeing the Dean arrive, Zhang Fan seemed to grasp at a lifeline and rushed forward. Dean, Night Owl he. But before he could finish, he was slapped into silence. Zhang Ergu looked grim and had to speak up. Dean, there was just a misunderstanding, but it's been cleared up now. Since it's cleared up, then just keep quiet. Han He was still smiling, but as soon as he spoke, Zhang Ergo didn't dare make a sound. The next second, Han He coldly glanced at those lackeys who testified for Zhang Fan. You fabricated evidence and maliciously framed others. From today, you are expelled and will never be admitted again. The few of them turned ashen on the spot, their legs going weak. Then Han He looked at Zhang Fan again. Zhang Fan, now in front of me, say it again. Did Night Owl really steal your spirit beast? Zhang Fan's face was as white as paper. If he continued to be stubborn, he wouldn't be able to stay in the academy anymore. Yes, he stole it. Han He frowned, just glanced at him, and with that one look, Zhang Fan's confidence vanished instantly. No, I didn't steal. It was as if all his strength had been drained, and he could only lower his head and confess everything truthfully. Once the truth came out, the people who were just scolding me all had their expressions change. I knew it. Night Owl is usually so solitary. How could he possibly steal anything? Zhang Fan is really disgusting, losing and still wanting to ruin someone. With the Dean's appearance, this farce finally came to an end. The autumn test continues as usual. Before that, since Night Owl is already the champion, is there anyone else who wants to challenge him? The audience fell silent, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. By now, everyone understood that the Dean was clearly protecting me, not to mention the 2 intimidating spirit beasts standing beside me. So naturally, no one dared to step up. Han He glanced at me and smiled faintly. Come to my office after the test, he said, then turned and left. 5 minutes later, I was standing in the Dean's office. Han He sat behind the desk, looking at me, but his first words were not praise. After all, Zhengfan is the Vice Dean's son. I can't handle this matter too harshly. You don't have any objections, do you? No, I shook my head. After all, the other party is the Vice Dean. I have no objections. Han He nodded and then went straight to the point. In 3 months, it's the national competition. I hope you represent Shanghai Beast Taming Academy and at least make it to the top 10. He spoke calmly, but I could still hear the weight in his words. Before that, the academy and Shanghai City's resources can all be directed towards you. If I really make it to the top 10, then of course, you won't miss out on the benefits. I won't hide it from you, as long as you can make it into the top 10. I, as the mayor, can also get a legendary spirit beast. My pupils contracted slightly. I originally thought that someone like Han Hei, a 4th grade beastmaster, would already have a spirit beast with legendary bloodline. Do you think everyone is as lucky as you? The imperial bloodline has been extinct for thousands of years, and as for the mythical level, it's out of the question. Nowadays, those who can cultivate a legendary bloodline are already top figures. My heart sank. If my 2 imperial level spirit beasts are exposed too much, it might cause big trouble. I won't delve into your secrets. All I can offer you are the resources of the entire Shanghai City, and all you need to do is one thing: make it into the top 10. I thought for a moment and agreed. Okay. After leaving the dean's office, I moved directly into the newly arranged single dormitory. Following the method taught by my mentor, I unexpectedly broke through after a short period of training. I'm now an 8th grade beastmaster. Feeling the surge of soul power within me, I was a bit surprised, but I knew very well that this was still far from enough. In the national competition 3 months from now, not only do I need a high enough rank, but I also need to contract a stronger spirit beast, preferably find a more complete Emperor's remains. The next day at noon, I received the arrangements. You are going to Devil's Valley, and I've already found a team leader for you. Of course, I didn't refuse. Devil's Valley is an entire primitive forest, and a favorite place for beast tamers to try their luck. The team leader arranged by Han He for me is named Huo Guang, a 6th rank beast tamer. Besides me, there were a few others traveling together, but shortly after we entered the valley, Huo Guang's spirit beast suddenly stopped. The ox has sensed a fierce beast's presence. Everyone be careful. Strange, this path shouldn't have been this dangerous before. Just as he finished speaking, a dark shadow suddenly leaped out from the bushes. I felt a chill on my back, and the next moment, I was knocked flying. The next second, my body was uncontrollably falling towards the cliff. Oh no. Just as I was falling, a hand grabbed me tightly. I looked up and saw that it was a thin gibbon that had caught me. But before I could breathe a sigh of relief, several more shadows leaped out from the bushes, directly attacking the gibbon. It wavered and finally let go, and I plunged completely into the bottomless abyss. After falling into the abyss, I groped my way forward in the dark with Pikachu. Soon, a fog appeared ahead. On the right, thick fog stretched endlessly, while on the left was a pitch-black rock wall, which seemed off. To be cautious, I chose the left. Detected skeletal remains nearby the host, marking the location for the host as the system. A prompt sounded, and a point of light appeared before me, right down the path on the left. Pikachu, let's go. I quickly moved forward with it, walking about 30 meters to the location marked by the system. But in front of me, there was nothing but a stone wall covered in vegetation. The remains are here. Just as I was puzzled, a strange faint noise suddenly came from my ear, and Pikachu burst into flames, beeping at me. The next second, a crimson light suddenly lit up in the darkness. It wasn't a lamp, it was pairs of eyes, spiders. A mass of white slime suddenly sprayed toward my face. I instinctively dodged to the side, and that thing stuck to the stone wall, leaving a large axe mark. Immediately after, a giant black spider hung upside down from the top of the cave. Its mouth opened, revealing terrifyingly white fangs. Pikachu was obviously startled by its size, freezing for a moment. Pikachu, intimidated. Pikachu snapped back to reality, and the Imperial Bloodline's pressure suddenly bore down. The giant spider that was originally lunging trembled instantly, its scarlet eyes shaking. Now, Flame Storm. The blue-green flames swept out instantly, turning the giant spider into a fireball, and only when it stopped moving completely did the flames gradually dissipate. Pikachu looked up at me, as if saying it was just the first time seeing such a big bug. Alright, I don't blame you. I rubbed its head and then noticed that the place where the giant spider crawled out was actually an entrance sealed by spider silk. Pikachu and I could only brace ourselves and continue inside. Soon, a gigantic spider nest appeared before me, with strange human-shaped cocoons hanging among the webs everywhere. Deep in the nest, countless small spiders were crawling back and forth. I immediately recognized these shadows as the things that knocked me off the cliff. More importantly, there were 2 human figures struggling in the center of the spider swarm. There are still living people. I didn't hesitate any longer and had Pikachu unleash ghostly flames, burning a path through. As the flames passed, the webs broke apart and the black spiders scattered. I rushed to the two figures and found a man and a woman, both about my age. Fortunately, they were just unconscious. After confirming they were alive, I immediately looked at the spot marked by the system. It was a fragment of bone buried in the rubble, resembling an arm but severely incomplete. Better than nothing. I reached out to absorb it and the system panel instantly popped up. Detection successful. Emperor creature remains integrity 15%. 15%. It's a bit low, but better than nothing. I didn't expect to find a complete Emperor's remains on my first trip into the Demon Valley. By the time I dragged those two out, 3 people had already gathered outside. The good news is that 3 out of the 4-member team survived. The bad news is that the only person who knows the way is still unconscious. As we were discussing what to do next, the girl suddenly went limp and fell to the side. When I looked down, I noticed 2 purplish wounds on her right arm, with a toxin spreading up her veins. Don't worry. Zhao-san quickly took out a blue ring, and the next second, a white pill appeared in his palm. I was stunned. A storage ring with its own space isn't something just anyone can produce. Zhao-san had already put the medicine into the girl's mouth, and soon the toxin in her arm visibly receded, finally dripping to the ground from the wound. I'm from Miaojiang, so this little poison is nothing to me. I nodded. Miaojiang is a place full of poisons and antidotes. Just as Zhao-san was about to boast some more, a creepy noise suddenly came from deep within the cave. Stop talking, run. I picked up the girl and turned to run. What do you mean? He hadn't reacted yet when several giant spiders crawled out from the cave walls around him. Zhao-san's face instantly turned pale. It's over. Why are there so many more? He turned around and mounted the gibbon, charging wildly in the direction I was escaping. But just as we were about to reach the cave entrance, a massive shadow suddenly descended from the sky, completely blocking our last way out. With the Spider King in front and the spider swarm chasing from behind, this really became a dead end. I told you we shouldn't come to Demon Valley. If I had known, I wouldn't have come even if you beat me to death. Good brother, isn't your spirit beast capable of spitting fire? Think of something quickly. What can I do? In order to clear out that spider nest just now, Pikachu's soul power is almost exhausted. After hearing this, the light in Zhao-san's eyes immediately went out. Tuan, go, fight it to the death, he shouted, though the culprit was still trembling. I was also preparing to forcibly overdraw my soul power for a fight. If we hesitated any longer, the 3 of us would die. Get down. At this moment, the girl, who had been so weak she could barely stand, suddenly spoke up. Come out, sunlight thundercloud explosion. The next second, a blinding thunderfire instantly tore through the darkness, striking directly at the giant spider. By the time I came to my senses, the Spider King blocking our way was gone. Sunlight thundercloud burst. You are from the Su family. My name is Su Ziling, and I just saved you. No problem. Having the Su family owe me a favor is a big win for me. But Su Ziling just glanced at him indifferently, looking even more distant than before. Only then did I seriously size him up. To be able to take down a spider of that level in one move, he clearly has quite a background. Come on, since we all escaped death together, let's properly get to know each other. I'm Ye Xiao, a local, Zhao-san, from Miaojiang, a 7th grade Beastmaster. By the way, I'm also a poison expert. Just as he started talking, I interrupted him with a raised hand. Since none of you are ordinary, is there any way to contact the outside world? Su Ziling turned his head and didn't respond. Brother Ye Xiao, you've read too many novels. In this creepy place, the only way to contact the outside world is by phone, but unfortunately, there's no signal here. Alright, pretend I didn't ask. We thought for a long time, and finally decided to go back to the previous fork in the road and take the other path. Try it. Soon, the 3 of them returned to the fork in the road. I woke up near the right path before. Let's go this way first, and if it doesn't work, we'll come back. Zhao-san and Su Ziling had no objections, but the fog on this path was thicker than before. Zhao-san deliberately sent the gibbon out to scout, but as soon as it took 2 steps into the fog, both its figure and sound disappeared. It seems this fog not only blocks vision, but also swallows sound. Zhao-san quickly brought the gibbon back. I led them to try walking again in the direction where I woke up, but it turned out to be a dead end. Now we can only take the foggy path. Going back to the spider's nest is even more dangerous. What do you think? I agree. As long as I don't have to see spiders again, I'll go anyway. Su Ziling's face was still pale, but he also agreed. Just as we were about to set off, something unexpected happened. A spider silk as thick as an arm shot out from the dense fog without warning. Zhao-san didn't even have time to react before he was tightly wrapped by the silk and swiftly pulled into the air. Save me! Help me quickly! In just a blink of an eye, he was dragged into the depths of the fog. My heart tightened, and I chased after him with Pikachu. In a place like this, losing one person is like losing a life. Flame bird, fireball, a ball of scorching firelight streaked over my head, heading straight for the direction where Zhao-san disappeared. Unfortunately, it was too far and missed. Zhao-san's screams were getting farther away. At that moment, a sudden cry came from behind me. I quickly turned around and saw Su Ziling also being lifted by a spider silk. Fortunately, his flame sparrow reacted swiftly, launching a fireball that accurately hit the spider lurking above. The burning spider in the air struggled wildly and fell straight towards Su Ziling's head. He was suspended in midair by the spider silk and couldn't dodge at all. I didn't have time to think. I just lunged forward, grabbed him into my arms, and rolled to the side. The next second, the burning giant spider crashed heavily to the ground. Thank you. His little face was pale, his body still trembling slightly, but when he looked in the direction where Zhao San disappeared, his gaze became more determined. The change happened too quickly. 4 people, and now only the 2 of us are left. What do we do now? I glanced back at the way we came. Returning to the spider's nest was no longer an option. We could only gamble on the path through the mist. Let's go. Take a chance on the other side, I said, and started walking forward. Su Ziling immediately followed. When we reached the foggy intersection, I grabbed his hand. What are you doing? The fog is too thick to prevent getting separated. He hesitated for a moment, but ultimately didn't pull away. We continued walking forward like this, but the fog not only didn't clear, it became even thicker. Suddenly, the ground beneath my feet gave way without warning. The feeling of weightlessness hit instantly, and he and I, still holding hands, plunged into the endless darkness below. The next second, icy cold water engulfed us both. I noticed Su Ziling struggling desperately in the water. Realizing he couldn't swim at all, I could only grab him and desperately swim upwards. By the time I dragged him ashore, I was so exhausted I almost fell apart. I just wanted to try my luck in the Devil's Valley, but it feels like I'm going through a tribulation. Scoundrel. He collapsed on the ground, completely soaked, his face terribly pale, yet the tips of his ears quietly turned red. I also belatedly realized that I seemed to have touched somewhere I shouldn't have in the water just now. Detected the presence of a complete Emperor creature's remains near the host, marking the location for the host. I immediately sat up straight. A complete Emperor's remains. This kind of luck is like a blind cat stumbling upon a dead rat. But before I could be happy for long, the space in front of me suddenly twisted, and the next second, Su Ziling and I were simultaneously swept into an ancient secret realm. This looks like an ancient secret realm. You even recognize this. It's normal for you not to know some things. He spoke calmly, but I became more certain that his background was definitely not simple. We could only move forward, and after about 20 minutes, I finally couldn't help but look at him. Your soul power hasn't recovered yet. He didn't say much, so I didn't press further, but I found it increasingly strange. With his soul power, he shouldn't be this weak. After walking for a long time, the narrow path finally turned into a wide passage. Just as Su Ziling and I were about to breathe a sigh of relief, a strange noise suddenly came from behind. Su Ziling instinctively moved closer to me, and I immediately summoned Pikachu. Who's there? I turned around and saw it was Huoguang. Blood was at the corner of his mouth, and he was swaying as if he had just crawled out of death's door. Run! Only then did I see that a strange black shadow was following him. Su Ziling and I both turned pale and quickly supported him to rush forward. But we hadn't gone far when a familiar ghostly wail came from behind. Wait for me! Wait for me! I turned around and almost slipped. Zhao San was riding on Tuan Tuan's back, charging wildly, his face turning blue and purple as if poisoned, while Tuan Tuan was covered in injuries, with a dense swarm of spiders chasing behind. Even more terrifying, the strange thing chasing Huoguang collided with the spider swarm, turning the entire passage into chaos. We rushed to the end in one breath, and finally, a white jade platform appeared before us. The complete Emperor's remains marked by the system were on that platform. Go up, maybe we can leave from there. But just as we were about to rush up, a sharp screech suddenly came from above. Get out of the way. As everyone dodged, a huge black shadow wrapped in a strong wind crashed down in front of us from high above, directly blocking the entrance to the platform. As soon as the entrance to the platform was blocked by that giant shadow, the commotion in the passage behind us got closer and closer. With a tiger blocking the way in front and a deadly chase behind, we were caught in the middle once again. I looked up, and that huge black shadow turned out to be a creature with the body of a lion and the wings of an eagle. I've seen this thing in the Emperor's Compendium, an ancient griffin. Wasn't this thing supposed to be extinct? Don't panic, it's not a living creature. It's a guardian beast formed from bones. Attack with full force, it won't be too strong. As soon as I heard the words formed from bones, my eyes lit up, but Zhao San looked troubled. Tuan Tuan is too injured to hold on. My flame sparrow only has a mid-level bloodline and can't help much. He paused, but still didn't reveal his real trump card. Then I'll do it. At critical moments, you have to rely on me, the one with the cheat. I directly summoned Pikachu and charged towards the ancient griffin. The small Pikachu stood in front of the giant beast, almost like a tiny speck. But in the next second, the imperial bloodline within it erupted. For the first time, there was a ripple in the beastly eyes of the ancient griffin. It then released its own bloodline pressure, and the two imperial level auras clashed in the air, as if even the air was being torn apart. Is this still a cup?
This sense of oppression is just too outrageous. Soon, Pikachu's aura suddenly overwhelmed.
Collided head-on with the ancient griffin. With a dull thud, the guardian beast shattered on the spot, leaving only a bone, the length of an arm on the ground. I bent down to pick it up and absorbed it. After absorbing the bone, the ancient griffin remains increased to 40%, a jump of 15. I am quite satisfied. After all, it's pure luck to have the Emperor's remains preserved until now. Before whatever's behind us catches up, we immediately rush onto the high platform. In the center of the platform is a huge tower-shaped skeleton. Wait, besides this broken bone, where's the exit? I hadn't spoken yet when Hongling already took out a broken stone and struck it hard on the platform. My heart skipped a beat, and I was about to tell him to stop, but after the stone hit, there was no reaction at all. Something's wrong. He suddenly looked up, his gaze falling on the corner of the platform, and his expression changed instantly. It's over. The teleportation array won't activate. What does that mean? Didn't they say we could get out from here? This is indeed a teleportation device, but it must ensure only humans are on the platform. And now there's something else here. He pointed to the corner, where a pitch-black creature was crouching. Not large in size, but with a pair of large pincers. An invincible forbidden crab. Can't I just kick it off? I stopped him. It's useless. The forbidden crab is immune to all attacks, almost indestructible. They were in despair over there, but I had already quietly approached the huge remains, with a faint thunder echoing in my ears. The creature was a thunder beast, the leader of the wolf pack, with an emperor-level bloodline and lightning attribute, immune to lightning damage. The moment I saw the panel, my heart almost jumped out of my chest. Another emperor remains, and it's complete. Without any hesitation, I began to absorb it. The huge remains dissolved at a speed visible to the naked eye. Fortunately, Zhao San and the others were focused entirely on that forbidden crab, and no one noticed my actions. It's over, really over this time. Countless unknown ancient creatures are swarming up from below the platform. Doesn't old Hua have any other solutions? It's all my fault for being too greedy. All my spirit beasts have perished in this secret realm. Only spirit beasts with lightning and wind attributes can barely withstand this forbidden area. Do any of you have spirit beasts with these two attributes? When Zhao San heard this, it was as if he suddenly remembered something. Wait, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Sunlight Thundercloud Leopard both wind and thunder attributes? Hongling's eyes lit up for a moment, but Su Ziling was silent for a moment, and then shook his head. I haven't contracted with a Sunlight Thundercloud Leopard, huh? In the spider's nest, it was just an illusion. Zhao San and I were both stunned. Indeed, a second grade or higher beastmaster can use soul power to form a beast shadow for protection. No wonder he never summoned it again after using that move. After Su Ziling personally admitted that the Sunlight Thundercloud Leopard was just an illusion, Zhao San was completely dumbfounded. It's over, we're really going to die here this time. Su Ziling lowered his head and said nothing, and Hongling's face looked extremely grim. The spirit beasts are almost gone and the retreat is cut off. Despair surged like a tide, but just then, an extremely terrifying aura suddenly exploded on the high platform, followed by a dull thunderclap that roared in everyone's ears. What is that? The three of them turned around simultaneously, only to see a robust thunder-type giant beast had somehow appeared behind them. I slowly raised my hand, and a deep blue beast control mark appeared on my palm. Thunder Fury Strike. In the next second, terrifying lightning swept across the entire platform. The forbidden crabs that were just crawling up in droves suddenly trembled, and then retreated frantically. In just a few breaths, the area around the platform was cleared. This sudden scene left Zhao San dumbfounded. Bro, from today on, you're my real brother, he cried as he rushed over, but I had already retracted the Thunder Beast. You've been hiding too much. Since you have a second Spirit Beast, why didn't you release it earlier? I patted Pikachu's head and lied, without changing my expression. You saw it wrong. It was just Pikachu switching to another attribute. You can do that. Zhao San widened his eyes, wishing he could grab Pikachu for research. Switching between dual attributes at will, your spirit beast is too extraordinary. I smiled, but secretly breathed a sigh of relief. The Thunder Beast is my real trump card, and I would never reveal it easily unless it was a matter of life and death. At this moment, Hongling also came over and heavily patted my shoulder. Now I understand why the Dean values you. Next year's national competition, you must win glory for us. I looked at the gradually quieting platform, unable to suppress a smile. Now that I have 2 Emperor-level spirit beasts, as long as my soul power increases, there's a chance to make it into the top 10 of the national competition. After coming out of the secret realm, early the next morning, I went to the city hall. Han He seemed to have been waiting for me and handed me a black gold card upon meeting. Take it, it contains resources for you. I took the card and looked at it for a long time. This thing's as thin as paper, not like a bank card at all. How do you use this thing? Drip a drop of blood on it, and you'll know. After I did so, the card instantly transformed into a black jade slip. At the same time, a storage space appeared in my mind, with cash piled up like a small mountain. 5 million. This is the highest grade jade cauldron, which not only stores items, but also recognizes its owner. Looking at the black jade slip in my hand, my heart almost jumped out. 5 million plus resources for cultivation from the entire city. This is beyond impressive. But before I could be happy for long, Han He added, tonight at 8, you have another challenge. A challenge? The spot for the national competition was originally for someone else, but now I've chosen you. The other party is not convinced. I slowly raised my eyes, a slight smile forming at the corners of my mouth. Not convinced? Then I'll fight until he is. Han He called me to the window, and his first words set the weight of this challenge, the Triennial City Competition. The ranking is for 120 cities nationwide. If you represent Lingyun City in the competition, your performance will directly determine how many resources Lingyun City can receive next year. So this battle is not just your matter, but the whole city's matter. The best result in previous years was 88th place. 88th place, which means breaking into the top 10 is even harder than I expected. Don't feel too pressured. Even breaking the historical record would be enough to make the whole city proud. But he quickly told me that this battle was never just a friendly match from the start. The person challenging you is called Xuejie from Hengyun Beast Academy, and behind that academy stands Zhang Jilin. In the past 2 years, Zhang Jilin has been pushing Xuejie into the position of a genius, investing reputation and resources in her. But now I've placed most of my bets on you. What should I be careful about? Xuejie's beast is the Soul Spirit Scorpion, naturally immune to fire attacks and skilled in solar attacks. He stared at me, clearly worried that Ming would be completely countered. Immune to fire attributes. I thought this trait was rare. You have 4 hours left. Think of a strategy. At 8 in the evening, the largest beast arena in Lingyun City was packed, and this battle was broadcast live throughout the city. Welcome to the Dike Beast Arena. Tonight at 8, we bring you the city's most anticipated showdown. The spotlight first shines to the left, where Xuejie makes her entrance. Appearing is the most outstanding 7th grade Beastmaster of the younger generation, Xuejie. Her Soul Spirit Scorpion resembles a dark red off-road vehicle, with a thick shell, cold pincers, and a menacing stinger on its back. Xuejie, Xuejie, Xuejie. The entire audience was almost boiling with excitement for her. Next, let's welcome the special grade soul power talent, 8th grade Beastmaster, Night Owl. When it was my turn, the cheers noticeably weakened. I stepped into the arena until a cyan green flame exploded beside me. Amidst the surging flames, a form became clear, a snow-white body entwined with a ghostly green glow, elegant like a mythical creature, rather than a fierce beast. This beast is just too beautiful. Everyone was amazed by its appearance, but they were more eager to see how my fire-type beast would fall to a flame-immune soul scorpion. Meanwhile, please turn your attention to the other side. Welcome the special grade qualified 8th rank Beastmaster, Night Owl. As the words fell, the cheers in the arena noticeably weakened. I walked into the arena under the spotlight, looking calm. The next second, a blue-green flame exploded beside me, swirling around me, and finally transforming into Ming. Its snow-white body was entwined with a ghostly green flame, so beautiful it seemed more like it was there to steal the spotlight than to fight. This Night Owl's beast is just too beautiful. At the same time, Zhang Fan was sitting in the villa, watching the live broadcast, looking extremely displeased. Damn Night Owl, where did this beast come from? Dad, Snowjai will win tonight, right? Night Owl's beast is fire-type, perfectly countered by the Soul Spirit Scorpion. No need to watch, but didn't he have a new beast in the late autumn test? That was just an illusion. Xuejie is a 7th grade Beastmaster, capable of using soul power in battle. Ye Xiao is only 8th grade, and as long as his beast is restrained, he will undoubtedly lose. At this point, Zhang Jilin finally raised his head and stared at me on the screen. I have already instructed Xuejie that in this battle, she must find a way to cripple Ye Xiao or his beast. He knows very well that as long as I can still stand, Tan He will definitely ensure I participate in the city competition. The bell rang and the battle officially began. The Soul Spirit Scorpion charged forward first, and Ming transformed into a cayenne green stream of light to meet it head-on. Just as the two beasts were about to collide, Ming released an Imperial Aura, but the Soul Spirit Scorpion showed no reaction. It raised its giant pincers and swept them horizontally at Ming, who immediately retreated, while ghostly flames rose simultaneously. The next second, the Soul Spirit Scorpion's tail sweep created a strong wind, forcibly dispersing the flames. This is the most troublesome opponent Ming has encountered so far. No need to rush, take it slow. After a brief probing, Ming stopped confronting head-on and started maneuvering. The Soul Spirit Scorpion is large, but it always just misses hitting it, making it look like Ming is being completely overwhelmed. Did the audience see that? Night Owl's beast is almost powerless against Xuejie's giant scorpion, only able to flee in disarray. So much for top-tier talent. What good is it if the beast just looks good? Looks good, but is useless. Amidst the boos from the crowd, Xuejie became even more composed. Pretentious guy, you think you can keep up with my axe? I'll let you pretend a bit longer. I can end this boring battle in 10 seconds. As time passed, the two beasts chased and retreated, with no direct attacks or highlights, leaving even the host at a loss for words. Until suddenly, a wave of exclamations erupted from the audience. Oh, Xuejie seems unwilling to wait any longer. She plans to personally attack Night Owl while the beasts are entangled. Xuejie clenched her fist and charged directly at me. Just a reminder, a 7th grade Beastmaster can already use soul power to strengthen their limbs, making their punches much heavier than an ordinary person's. It looks like Xuejie intends to directly knock out her opponent. Don't forget, our superstar is currently only an 8th grade on the surface. The whole audience thinks I won't last more than 3 punches. Just kidding, just kidding. But it seems Shueji really intends to personally end this duel. Shueji has already rushed in front of me with a fierce look in her eyes that she doesn't even bother to hide. Only by crippling you will my position be more secure. She punches towards my face while commanding the Soul Spirit Scorpion to attack. Black Demon, stop playing. Use Soul Spirit Extraction and return to the ranks of the useless Night Owl. But just as her fist is about to touch me, I raise my hand and grab it directly. How is that possible? Sorry, I happen to be 7th rank as well, with top grade soul power aptitude, nearly invincible among peers. Shueji's expression changed instantly, desperately trying to pull her fist back, but my hand was like an iron clamp, not moving at all. You celebrated too early. The next second, I punched back. My goodness, Shueji's aggressive attack was easily neutralized by Night Owl, and Night Owl knocked Shueji to the ground with one punch, which means he is not 8th rank at all. He is also 7th rank. At this moment, the entire audience fell silent, and everyone waiting to see me make a fool of myself felt as if they had been slapped hard. He hadn't recovered yet, when a piercing scream suddenly came from afar. It wasn't just the Beastmasters who had determined the outcome. The two beasts were also about to reach a conclusion. Shueji suddenly turned her head and finally saw the scene she couldn't accept.
The Soul Spirit Scorpion, which was said to be immune to fire damage, is now engulfed in blue-green phantom flames, rolling and howling frantically in the arena, crashing into the walls and causing them to crack inch by inch. Impossible.
Why is the Dark Demon immune to fire damage? Why go home and guess for yourself? Actually, the answer is very simple. After meeting with Tan He, I immediately looked up information on the Soul Spirit Scorpion. Its fire immunity comes from the dark red shell on its surface, and it is best at solar attacks. The ghostly flames of Pianpian's life burn things that ordinary flames should not burn. As long as the Soul Scorpion dares to use its soul power, it's like sending itself into the fire. As for why I could take his punch, it's simple. The key to the 7th grade is to expand soul power and continuously infuse it into the limbs. It takes others a long time, but I only took 2 hours. So from the beginning, this situation wasn't a desperate one, it was a trap. Seeing that the Soul Spirit Scorpion couldn't hold on, Shueji finally panicked and took it back. Fei Xing, come out for me. A sparrow wrapped in red flame swooped down, but Ming just returned to my side, releasing the pressure of a dominant bloodline. The flame-devouring sparrow froze on the spot, not daring to flap its wings. In the end, it could only awkwardly fold its wings and land. Damn, I actually forgot that your beast is of a dominant bloodline. The place fell into complete silence. Do you have any more beasts? My tone hadn't changed from the beginning, as if asking about something completely ordinary. Do you have any more beasts? Shueji clenched his fists tightly, struggled for a long time, and finally lowered his head. I lost. The next second, the dead silence was completely shattered. Let's congratulate Ye Xiao. The winner of this battle is Ye Xiao. The whole venue started chanting my name. That night, I resonated throughout Lingyuan City once again. From that moment on, no one dared to oppose me representing Lingyuan City in the district competition. Some cheered, while others are driven mad with hatred. In front of the television, the orange in Zhang Pan's hand was squeezed until juice flowed everywhere. How could he possibly reach the 7th rank? He only became a Beastmaster a few days ago. What bothers him the most is not just that I won, but that I advanced 2 ranks in less than a week, while it took him 3 whole years to just step into the 7th rank. What a formidable Ye Xiao. If he's allowed to participate in the competition, he might actually break into the top 20. It seems we need to eliminate this threat in advance. Dad, are you planning to have Uncle Dai take action? But Uncle D's influence is in Hongling City. They can't come to Lingyuan City if Tan He notices anything unusual. So you go back to the academy and keep a close watch on Ye Xiao's every move. As long as he leaves the city, there will be a chance to act. At this point, the murderous intent in his eyes was no longer concealed. Originally, last time he went to Diaoling Forest, I had arranged people, but unfortunately, that kid didn't show up at all. Alright, on the other side, as soon as I left the arena, I was invited into a black business car. Well done, kid. Tan, he personally poured me a glass of champagne, smiling even more happily than I did after winning. Because you won so cleanly tonight, Cody has decided to make you their lifelong spokesperson. Cody controls 70% of the beast taming industry chain in Lingyuan City, yet they never sign any beast tamers. I have reviewed the contract for you, and there are no issues. The endorsement fee is 10 million per year. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Teaching. Thank you, Uncle Tan. I know he must have secretly facilitated this, as there is no such thing as free goodwill, but I can also see that he genuinely supports me. Uncle Tan, I'm looking for something. Have you heard of it? What is it? Nether Ghost Seed. This is the material needed for Mingjing to reach the adolescent stage. I don't recall it, but I'll inquire for you. You can also check the Academy's reading room in the next few days. Okay, after returning to the dormitory, I first released Ming, then raised my hand. The deep blue beast mark lit up, accompanied by a low rumble of thunder, and my second beast finally reappeared. It was a thunderwolf larger than Ming, its glossy black fur entwined with lightning, and its deep blue beast eyes seemed to hold a storm, looking majestic rather than like a cub. Ming immediately went over, tilting its head to stare at it, full of curiosity. Roar! The next second, the two little ones pounced on each other and started playing. I was about to stop them, only to realize they weren't seriously fighting, but just playing around. It seems that after staying in the same beast seal for so long, they actually get along quite well. I looked at the Thunderwolf, and its attribute panel appeared before my eyes at that moment. The Thunderwolf's attributes quickly appeared before my eyes. Creature, Thunder Emperor Beast, Juvenile Stage, Bloodline, Emperor Level, Perfect, Attribute, Thunder and Lightning, Traits, Immune to Thunder type damage, Control Thunder and Lightning, Intimidate Wolf type Beasts, Talent, Soul Link, Thunderlord, Skills, Lightning Dance, Thunder Judgment, Path of Advancement, Devour Thunder type Creature Flesh. Unlike me, this guy doesn't take a mysterious route, but rather pure violent output, which suits the temperament of Thunder. With a thought, the two little ones immediately stopped playing and stood in front of me, one on each side. It's time to give you a name. I recalled the thrilling moment when I made a pact with it in the secret realm, and the first word that came to mind was break. You can just call it by his character, but it feels like something's missing. From now on, you'll be called Shunpo. How about that? The Thunder Emperor Beast stared at me for 2 seconds, and the light in its eyes suddenly brightened. Ah woo, it seems quite satisfied. I played with Ming and Shunpo for a while, before finally lying back on the bed to sleep. Early the next morning, just as I finished washing up and stepped out, I heard a nauseating voice. Ye Xiao, wait for me. I turned my head and saw Zhang Fan running over with a fake smile on his face. Where are you going? I'll go with you. If you're sick in the head, take some medicine and don't bother me. This sudden enthusiasm is probably not well intentioned. I couldn't be bothered with him and turned to leave. Along the way, the students I met at the academy were overly enthusiastic. Some greeted me, some wanted to add me as a friend. Before, they would avoid me, but now they can't wait to get close. In the end, it's just about judging people by their status. I casually responded with few words and went straight to the parking lot. 10 minutes later, I parked the car at the entrance of the old welfare home on the edge of the city. Looking at the familiar, yet shabby yard, I felt a bit dazed. I haven't been back since I started high school. It's been 5 years in a flash. The building here isn't big, there aren't many rooms, and orphans and elderly people live together. But for me, this was the only home I had as a child. Xiao Yuan. I looked in the direction of the voice, and Aunt Chin was holding a broom, staring blankly at me. Aunt Chin. The broom in her hand fell to the ground with a thud, and with reddened eyes, she walked toward me. I know, I saw you on TV. Our Xiao Yuan has made it big. She pulled me into the courtyard, her voice loud enough for everyone to hear. Our home's big star is back. After this shout, all the elderly and children in the courtyard came rushing out. It's Xiao Yuan. Haha, the little kid from before has grown into a young man. And now our Xiao Yuan is a big star, really bringing pride to the home. The children circled around me, their eyes shining brightly. I took out the health products, fruits, and snacks I had bought in advance from the car. Wow, after the children ran off with the snacks, I finally had a chance to quietly talk with Aunt Chin. Aunt Chin. I sat in the hall, listening to the elderly chatter about my childhood, and suddenly felt that this visit couldn't just be about seeing them. Aunt Chin, I've bought a nursing home in the city center. Once it's renovated, you can all move there together. It will still be called Blue Sky Welfare Home. How about that? As soon as I finished speaking, the entire hall fell silent. What? What did you say? How can this be? You're just in your early 20s. It's the time when you need to spend money. How can you spend it on us? Don't worry, Aunt Chin, this is not just my idea, it's also the mayor's. Our city indeed needs a bigger welfare home to give the elderly and children a decent place to live. Actually, after I brought this up, Tan He immediately helped me finalize the follow-up arrangements, the charity fund, the new location, and future support. He thought it all through for me. I'm not short of money now, and my beast doesn't need constant spending on expensive nutrients like others do. For me, having more money just means living a bit more comfortably. But I'm already living well enough now. So, I want to share this goodness with those who once sheltered me from the storm. Days passed by like this. The new welfare home began renovations, progressing quickly. After returning to the academy, I also resumed training, spending every day either immersed in the reading room, going through various advanced materials, or honing my soul power. Because the 6th rank is a true dividing line for beast tamers, stepping into the 6th rank requires accomplishing 2 things. First, externalizing soul power, and second, externalizing the soul power of the beast. I managed to barely achieve the first point in half a month, but for the second point, both Ming and Shunpo are still somewhat lacking. I thought for a long time, and finally understood where the problem lies. During the juvenile phase, the most crucial advancement at the 6th rank is enabling the beast to learn new skills, and learning skills relies on the external release of the beast's soul power to absorb knowledge points. However, both Ming and Flash Soul are still too young, so during that time, I was training while frantically searching for materials. Near the Ghost Seed, Thunder-type creatures, I couldn't find it. A month later, the Blue Sky Welfare Institute was officially completed. On the ribbon-cutting day, Aunt Chin was extremely excited. The person we should thank the most today is our little Yuan. She keeps mentioning me, wishing the whole Lingyun city would know that the child she raised has become successful. And this event has boosted my reputation in Lingyun city even more. But after being busy the whole morning, sitting in the director's office, my head is about to explode. I swear I'll never attend a second ribbon cutting ceremony. Little Yuan, I personally arranged the office decor. Not bad, right? I originally just wanted her to continue managing the welfare home, but she insisted on putting the director's position on me. I couldn't argue with her, so I had to accept it. Don't worry, you don't have to worry about anything. I'll take care of the welfare home for you. With you around, of course, I'm at ease. By the way, you just mentioned you had something to give me. Yes, I wanted to give it to you last time at the old welfare home. She took an envelope out of her pocket and handed it to me. Do you still remember Qingru? This is the letter she left for you. Qingru. As soon as this name came up, a young and smiling face immediately appeared in my mind. Zhang Ru. She is 2 years younger than me and was one of my best playmates at the welfare home. But since I started high school, we completely lost contact. The year you graduated from high school, Qingru was adopted by a wealthy family and taken to another city. After Aunt Qin mentioned Qingru's whereabouts, I just put the letter in my pocket without opening it immediately. Thanks, Aunt Qin. I was about to ask a few more questions when my phone suddenly rang. Seeing the caller ID, my heart skipped a beat. Uncle Tan, kid, I found out about the nether ghost seed for you, but you'll have to wait a bit longer. Why? The netherwall ghost seed is a special mineral that withers instantly once it leaves its habitat. Recently, new mineral veins have been discovered in Hongling City, and this thing is among them. I'll think of a way to see if I can bring it back along with this habitat. Digging it up along with the habitat sounds outrageous. Uncle, there's no need for such trouble. I'll go myself. I met a local from Hongling City in Withering Valley, and with his help, there shouldn't be any major issues. Reliable, absolutely reliable. After hanging up the phone, I immediately called Zhao San, but no one answered after 2 tries. Just as I was wondering if he had given me a fake number, he finally called back. You wouldn't be calling me for no reason, right? Are you in Hongling City? Where are you? I'll come pick you up right now. Stop, you're asking so many questions at once. Are you giving anyone a chance to speak? You haven't contacted me since that day. Am I excited? I asked you if a few new mineral veins have been discovered in Hongling City recently. Wow, your information is fast. These veins were only discovered 3 hours ago. Is there any nether ghost seed in them? It seems there is, but you have to go deep into the mine. And this thing is particularly tricky. Once it leaves its original place, it's useless. Alright, I'll meet you in Red Ridge City, first thing tomorrow morning. Of course, you can count on it. I'll make sure everything is comfortable for you. After hanging up the phone, I realized that the place I'm going to this time is not an ordinary mining area. The mines in Red Ridge City seem to be much more complex than I thought. At this moment, Aunt Qin knocked on the door and came in again. That girl Xiaoyuan Yunjia, she wants to apply here as a nurse. After Lin Yunjia was expelled from the academy, she has nowhere to go. Aunt Qin is still soft-hearted. You decide. Aunt Qin, you can take charge of the welfare home's matters from now on. After saying that, I got up and walked out. I'm going to leave Lingyun City for a while. Remember to inform me if anything comes up. Hongling City is one of the cities with the richest mineral resources in the country, consistently ranking in the top 10. The entire city is built on a vast plain, but the real wealth is buried underground. Almost everyone there is extremely wealthy, and even if you're not a local, as long as you have connections, you can make a fortune in just 2 years. Early the next morning, I boarded the earliest flight to Hongling City. As soon as I got off the plane, I spotted a particularly conspicuous guy in the crowd, wearing sunglasses and a black trench coat, standing arrogantly like he was on a red carpet. Good brother, now that you're in Hongling City, leave everything to me. I guarantee you'll eat well, drink well, and sleep well. Good brother, this time in Hongling City, leave everything to me. I assure you, you'll eat well, drink well, and sleep well. After getting into his convertible, he first took me for a spin around the city. Even though both are urban areas, Hongling City and Lingyun City are on completely different levels. Any random street here is almost as good as the city center of Lingyun City. That day, Zhao San really took care of everything for me. The best restaurant, the best hotel, I truly enjoyed myself. It wasn't until we returned to the hotel in the evening that we finally talked about business. So that's it, your beast needs the nether ghost seed to advance, which is indeed an advancement material for some special fire type beasts. How about this? I'll accompany you to the mine tomorrow. Thank you. But the more I understand the mines of Hongling City, the more I realize how much weight that thank you carries. Everyone here is filthy rich, but every trip down the mine is a gamble with life. Deep in the veins lie countless strange and elusive creatures, and one careless moment could mean staying down there forever. Zhao San said that even third-rank beast tamers have died in the mines, yet he agreed to accompany me without a second thought. With our friendship, there's no need to say more. Back in that broken secret realm, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be alive to lie here. Don't worry, I'll handle it.
He spoke so casually. It wasn't until the next morning that I understood why he could be so relaxed, because his so-called arrangements were indeed real arrangements. Early the next morning, I followed him to the Hongling City government building, and he directly took me into the mayor's office. Ye Xiao, my young friend, I've often heard Maya mention you, and now that I see you, you truly are outstanding. I was stunned on the spot. Zhao San turned out to be the mayor's son of Hongling City.
Dad said not to call me by my nickname. Maya, it sounds awful. I'm a real man. Zhao Tianho acted like he didn't hear and directly extended his hand to me. Uncle, you're too kind. I'm just an ordinary person from a small city. Hey, you're Maya's lifesaver. Calling me uncle is too formal. Call me godfather from now on. My eyelid twitched on the spot. I just came to find some materials. How did I end up gaining a family connection? Exactly. A life and death friendship is closer than real brothers. I silently glanced at Zhao San, and he finally remembered the main issue. Dad, this time Ye Xiao came to Hongling City to find the Nether Ghost Seed to advance his beast. This is simple. I'll have Lu Hen accompany you to the mine. After he spoke, a tall and muscular man in a black tank top quickly walked in. Lu Hen, a 5th grade beastmaster. Lu Hen, you will accompany them. After making the arrangements, Zhao Tianhu left directly, as if he had just casually solved a small matter. We can set off. Lu Hen doesn't talk much, but he exudes an intimidating aura that suggests he's very capable in a fight. Don't be fooled by Uncle Lu's quietness. He's the most reliable. Let's go. We're heading out. Okay, Maya, you. And so, we joked all the way from the office to the parking garage, but just as we arrived, Zhao San's phone suddenly rang. Oh no, what happened? I leaned over to take a look, and the caller ID displayed 3 characters. Susie Ying. Hello, Miss Su. What made you think of calling me? I'm currently in Hongling City, and have something to ask you. Do you have time to meet? Sure, I'll send you the address. After hanging up, Zhao San turned to look at me. Why is she also in Hongling City? Did you two plan this? How could that be? I shook my head. How is that possible?
Redling City just discovered a few new mineral veins, and the news has spread. Maybe she's also here for the mineral veins. Does the Su family still lack minerals? So strange. At this moment, Lu Hen had already parked the car in front of us. Uncle Lu, let's go to Jikshui Cafe first. After getting in the car, Zhao San kept talking to me about Hongling City. I originally wanted to get more information about the underground mineral veins, but this guy talked about food, drink, and entertainment the whole time. 10 minutes later, the car stopped outside a very bustling shopping plaza, and Zhao San told me to wait while he went inside to call someone. This Jikshui Cafe is very large, all push occupying the best spot in the entire plaza. I even suspect this place is owned by the Zhao family. After a while, Zhao San came out with a girl in a floral long dress. My sister Zhao Shui, how is she? Pretty, right? Very pretty. I've been hearing my brother talk about you a lot lately, and I didn't expect you to be such a handsome guy. Zhao Shui looks somewhat like Zhao San, but their temperaments are completely different. One is like the foolish son of a landlord, and the other is like a small business owner, seriously focused on their career. This shop was started by my sister from scratch. Impressive, right? After chatting for a bit, Zhao Xie went back to the store to get busy, and I saw 2 people walking towards us. Su Jiying arrived. Today she was wearing a black long dress, her hair down, looking even cooler than in the secret realm. But when she saw me, her pupils noticeably trembled. Why is she here too? Long time no see, Miss Su. Long time no see. She nodded at Zhao San, but barely glanced at me, her eyes wandering, as if avoiding something. I was a bit puzzled. Ever since parting with Huo Yun, she's been acting strange. Could she still be bothered by the incident of falling into the water in the secret realm? Xiao family, Xiao Lingjue. At this moment, the man beside her finally spoke. He slightly raised his chin with an expression like, knowing me is your good fortune. Isn't it just the Xiao family? What's with the arrogance? I didn't say anything, just smiled. The surname Xiao is quite renowned in this world too. What brings you to Hongling City this time? Absent-minded, did not respond. I heard that a vein of the Nether Ghost Seed was discovered in Hongling City, and we came for this reason. We want to go down to the mine. Can you recommend it? The Su family and the Xiao family have large businesses. Do you still need to go down to the mine personally? Zhao San just casually joked, but Xiao Lingju's expression immediately turned a bit unpleasant. If it were other movable minerals, of course, there would be no need to come personally, but the Nether Ghost Seed is different. As a local, don't you know this? The tone sounded calm, but the underlying disdain was unmistakable. Your friend here doesn't seem very reliable either, so we'll look for someone else. Zhao San looked at me in confusion, as if doubting which of his words was wrong, but I understood. This young master from the Xiao family hadn't taken us seriously from the start. This brother is right. You should find other professional locals. I emphasized the word professional heavily. Surely if the son of the mayor of Hongling City isn't considered professional, then who is? I suddenly started to wonder if this sense of superiority is a common trait among these young masters from noble families. You all want to go down to the mine too?
He finally looked up at me, but as soon as our eyes met, he quickly looked away as if burnt. Yes, then, let's go together. Are you serious? The mine is full of dangers, and you want to go down there with someone so unprofessional? Are you serious? I didn't want to travel with you in the first place. You can leave now. Xiao Lingjue's expression visibly darkened. If something really happens then, don't blame me for not warning you. No need to worry. I really don't like these so-called noble families who look down on people. Xiao Lingjue gave me a look and finally walked away with a cold face. It's really strange. Why do these family young masters always act so superior? Look at me. I'm also a young master, but I'm so amiable and approachable. I couldn't be bothered to respond to that. Among the 5 great beast-taming families, most of the younger generation have this inexplicable sense of superiority, which I don't like either. Whatever, the 3 of us are teaming up again, and it feels great. As he spoke, he was about to put his hand on my shoulder. Suzy Ying stood quietly to the side, her gaze wandering around, looking quite unnatural. Before long, the 3 of us met up with Lu Heng. Zhao San sat in the front passenger seat, while Suzy Ying and I sat in the back. She kept her head down the whole way, nervously fiddling with her skirt. I looked out the window, contemplating this trip to the mine. After about 10 minutes, the car stopped outside a bustling market, with dust swirling on the ground, no tall buildings around, and shops everywhere displaying strange minerals. Immediately, our man hurried out from the market and led us into a hidden passageway. Going down, the flat ground unexpectedly split open to reveal an entrance. After Lu Heng drove down, the noise from above quickly disappeared. The passageway glowed with a blue light. Further ahead, I saw an underground world that seemed endless. The pale blue light illuminated countless tracks and shops, like an entire city hidden beneath the ground. Compared to those dusty little stalls above, the minerals displayed here seemed like something from another world. It wasn't until Zhao San opened the car door for me that I snapped back to reality. Those above are just the most basic minerals. This is the largest mineral trading market in Hongling City. At that moment, I suddenly understood that it's not the world that's too ordinary, but Lingyan City that has limited my imagination. Led by Lu Heng, we continue to walk deeper inside. For normal people, going down to the mine requires passing many checkpoints, but Zhao San and Lu Heng are obviously not normal people. They had a smooth journey, with all green lights. After entering a waiting room, Zhao San suddenly tossed me a jade ring. Inside the jade ring were essential items for going down to the mine. I glanced inside and found 3 things: a black dot, a bracelet, and a handgun. Keep this jade ring for yourself. Although it's not top-notch, it's not far off. Jesus, my heart warmed slightly, but after taking out the items, I threw the ring back to him. Thanks, but I already have a jade ring. I raised my hand, revealing the black gold jade ring. Whoa, black gold, that's the top tier jade ring. Even my dad wouldn't buy it for me. Where did you get it? We'll talk about that later. First, tell me, what are these 3 things for before going down the mine? These 3 items are used together. It's hard to explain quickly, but you'll understand once you start using them. There's a changing room here. Suzy Ying, you should change your clothes first. Wearing a skirt is inconvenient for going down the mine. 5 minutes later, Suzy Ying came out in a neat casual outfit. She was still the same person, but now she looked ready to go down the mine, not walk the red carpet. Ready, let's go. Zhao San led Suzy Ying and me through a wooden door, and behind it was an elevator where Lu Heng was already waiting. In the elevator, there were only 3 buttons, and the one lit up was the bottom one, clearly indicating this was a direct elevator to the mine veins. As we descended, Zhao San kept talking non-stop. He talked about the cuisine of Hongling City, then nightlife, and then which shop owner's wife had a bad temper. I originally wanted to learn more about the mine veins, but ended up listening to a travel guide the whole way until the elevator doors opened, and a rush of air mixed with earthy and foul smells hit us. Ugh, I can still hold on. Suzy Ying's face instantly turned pale. Use this, she said, taking out the black dot the size of a fingertip and pressed it against Suzy Ying's temple. The next second, a translucent mask unfolded directly on her face. I was stunned. No way. Has technology outside developed this much already? You put it on too. I quickly followed suit. The moment the mask formed, all the unpleasant smells disappeared. Moreover, it not only filters the air, but also has night vision capabilities. The most outrageous part is that there's almost no sensation of wearing it, and the field of vision isn't affected at all. Put the wristband on now. As soon as Suzy Ying and I fastened the wristbands, a line of text appeared before us. Welcome to using TechUN products. Connecting to the detection wristband. Connection complete. Map information will be synchronized shortly. The next second, a circular map appeared in the upper right corner with a glowing green dot on it. This scene is just like the game interface I used to play. The wristband will scan the surrounding terrain within 100 meters in real time, and the map will sync to the upper right corner of your mask. The green dot represents yourself. After she finished speaking, she tapped her wristband against mine, and a blue dot immediately appeared on the map. The blue dot represents a teammate. In no time, 3 blue dots appeared on my map. I stared at the map in silence for a few seconds. It's not that Hongling City is too advanced, it's that Lingyan City has kept me too sheltered. So what about this gun? This is a mining gun. Once you find the minerals, the musk will automatically mark the cutting line, and you just follow it. After explaining the equipment, the four of us finally stepped out of the elevator. With the night vision mask, the originally pitch-black mine vein was as clear as if a light had been turned on. At that moment, a strangely shaped creature suddenly landed. It looked like a cheetah, but had 4 slender front legs and 2 strong hind legs, appearing both eerie and fierce. This was the venomous bee ghost leopard, a beast tamed by Uncle Lou in the mine years ago. It can smell the scent of rare minerals. With it leading the way, we can avoid many detours. It turns out that Red Spirit City is impressive not only for its mines, but also for its well-developed mining system. The mine is different from outside. Everyone be careful. Saying this, he also summoned the gibbon, Tuan Tuan. As soon as Tuan Tuan saw Suzy Ying and me, it shook its head excitedly, and I raised my hand to release Ming. The cyan green flame swept by, and Ming landed quietly. Suzy Ying then summoned her flame-devouring sparrow, and as soon as the 2 fire-type beasts appeared, the surrounding chill was significantly dispelled. Lu Heng's gaze lingered on Ming for a moment, then he said nothing and silently looked away. Next, Lu Heng released a second beast, and when I looked closely, it turned out to be a strong, muscular kangaroo. Even more outrageous, it had a pair of diamond-studded golden knuckle dusters on its fists. At that moment, I could only think this trip to Hongling City was truly worthwhile. Looking at Lu Heng's build, I suddenly felt that this kangaroo really resembled its owner. Just like that, the venomous bee ghost leopard led the way in front, the muscular kangaroo guarded the rear, and the 4 of us were securely protected in the middle. Suzy Ying and I walked at the back, following Zhao San and Lu Heng as we slowly made our way deeper into the mine. Occasionally, we would encounter other miners on the road, and whenever they saw Lu Heng, they would respectfully call him Brother Lu. The so-called mineral veins are actually more like artificially excavated underground tunnels, with glowing objects hanging on the walls and signs pointing to the exit. However, the deeper you go, the fewer of these things there are. I kept staring at the map in the upper right corner. The route was as complex as tree roots, refreshing every few seconds. We kept going down, and after almost an hour, Suzy Ying's breathing was already a bit erratic. Tuan Tuan lent a hand. Zhao San was attentive and directly had Tuan Tuan carry Suzy Ying on his shoulder. As we went further down, the air became increasingly chaotic, and even the flames released by Ming and the flame-devouring sparrow barely dispelled a bit of the chill. We had entered a newly excavated vein cluster, and everyone was on high alert. This was the first time Lu Heng spoke up. Just as he finished speaking, a shadow suddenly burst from the wall on my right. Too fast, that thing rushed straight at my head. I didn't even have time to dodge. If it really hit me, my head would probably burst open on the spot. At that moment, a golden light shot out from behind me. It was the kangaroo. Its fist with diamond-studded knuckles punched out like a cannonball. Bang! The shadow was directly smashed into the wall with one punch, forcibly creating a large pit. A cold sweat instantly broke out on my back. If it weren't for that kangaroo just now, I'd probably be down by now. Are you okay? No problem. I looked up at the pit, and my expression changed immediately. It was a black monster rat with a sharp horn on its forehead. Be careful, these horned rats always appear in groups. Almost as soon as he finished speaking, a fine, murky noise came from all directions. The next second, countless black shadows shot in from different directions simultaneously. The earth-balanced ceiling barrier. A gust of wind instantly swirled up, forming a visible protective wall around us. The attacking shadow-horned rats were all bounced away upon impact. Quickly, let the fire-type beast take action. Actually, without him saying, I had already given Ming the order. Whoosh! The ghostly green flames burst forth instantly, and upon hitting the ceiling barrier, the spread was astonishingly fast, as if the entire mine tunnel was engulfed by a wave of fire. Those horned shadow mice didn't even have time to escape. They were directly burned to ashes, not even leaving any residue. Not bad. Lu Heng glanced at Ming, and then nodded at me. I knew he was praising not just the flames, but also my reaction in that instant, right? I said the person I value wouldn't be bad. Suzy Ying stood behind without speaking, but I could feel she was always watching me, while I was looking more at the venomous bees, the ghost leopard, and that kangaroo. The moment the ceiling barrier unfolded just now, I clearly felt a strong sense of oppression. The bloodline level of these two beasts is probably at least at the dominator level. Thinking of this, I suddenly understood even more that a high city ranking and resource allocation are not just empty words. After confirming the surroundings were safe, Lu Heng retracted the ceiling barrier and led us further inside. On the way ahead, we encountered several more ambushes by the ghost-horned rats. These creatures not only hold grudges, but are also treacherous. However, with the experience from the first encounter, we weren't as flustered when facing them again. Walking in the mine, the soil underfoot became increasingly loose, forcing us to slow down. Strange colored minerals were occasionally embedded in the surrounding walls, colorful and making the entire tunnel seem somewhat unreal. Stop. We stopped simultaneously. The venomous bee ghost leopard raised its head, as if seriously distinguishing the scent in the air. After a few seconds, it turned back and grinned at Lu Heng. There's a nest ahead. You go up. He pointed directly at me. Go on, brother. Show them what you've got. I stepped past Zhao San and looked ahead. About 50 or 60 meters away, there was a faintly reddish area, resembling some kind of nest, crowded with reptiles with bright blood-red spots on their bodies. The next second, the venomous bee ghost leopard opened its mouth and spat out a small wind circle, hovering in front of us. Release your soul power and compress it to the size of a fingernail. I was stunned for a moment, but still did as instructed. Dark grey soul power seeped from my palm, gradually forming a small ball. Special grade aptitude, huh? His eyes flickered slightly. Then he nodded his chin, sent it into the wind circle. Although I didn't understand the principle, I still sent the soul power over. Just as the soul power touched the wind circle, a clear loud sound suddenly exploded, and dark grey ripples rushed toward the nest at a speed visible to the naked eye. The next moment, that blood-red light was extinguished all at once. Is this even possible? Inside are blood lizards. These creatures can spray deadly poisonous mist that can instantly corrode flesh. Moreover, once they are awake and sense a life threat, they will continuously self-destruct, and nothing within 300 meters can survive. Just hearing about it makes my scalp tingle. So the best method is not to kill them forcefully, but to stun them first and then deal with them. Soul power combined with wind attributes will form a shockwave that impacts the soul. Not only can the soul power of a wind attribute beast tamer resonate differently with various attributes, but at that moment, I was truly stunned. This is no ordinary technique. It's practical experience not found in textbooks. Thank you. The expressions of Uncle Lu, Zhao San, and Suzy Ying also changed, clearly indicating that even people of their background didn't know soul power could be used this way. Damn, top level aptitude. Even your comprehension is so outrageous. I'm still stuck on releasing soul power, and you can already shape it. It's not a secret. After saying that, he had the poison wind ghost leopard spit out another larger wind circle. This time, I almost instantly understood what he meant. Ming Tai took the lead, and the nether flame surged out. After passing through the wind circle, the flame's spread speed skyrocketed, engulfing the entire lizard nest in the blink of an eye. When the wave of fire dissipated, it was eerily quiet ahead. The blood lizards and their nest were completely dealt with. Just then, a loud crash came from the rear wall. Dirt flew everywhere, and the corpse of a vain creature smashed through the wall and fell to the ground. Brother Black Flute has impressive strength. These underground beasts just don't like to fight head-on and only know how to ambush. Immediately after, another 4-person team emerged from the breached passage, and I instantly recognized a familiar face in their group, Xiaoling Jue. As for the person walking in front, he was a man with a mouth full of gold teeth, laughing loudly, but his eyes were not clean. Hey, Brother Lu, are you also bringing people down to the mine? Haisha, Mishi, Misha. As he spoke, his gaze unabashedly swept over Suzy Ying. Suzy Ying frowned and stepped back half a step behind me. Zhang Di, deep in the mine, don't make too much noise. Alright, Brother Lu, as you say, we're just about to head this way too. Can we tag along with you for a bit? As he said this, his gaze seemed to fall on me, not like someone just passing by, but more like someone eyeing prey. Alright, Brother Lu, as you say, we were just about to go this way too. Can we tag along with you for a bit? No way. Lu Heng didn't even hesitate and led us directly into the blood lizard nest. Behind us, Zhang Di's group stood in place, watching us leave. Who is this person to be so arrogant? Even young Master Xiao doesn't know the local tyrant of the Hongling clan, yet dares to go down the mine. As he spoke, his gaze remained fixed on my back. Young Master Xiao, that handsome kid is the one you said you wanted to teach a lesson. Yes, it's best to make sure he stays in the mine forever. Hearing this, I still didn't realize I was being targeted by 2 groups at the same time. After entering the blood lizard nest, Lu Heng suddenly turned his head and looked at me. Zhang Di, do you have a grudge against him? No, I don't even know who he is, but this guy is also from the Ling Yun clan, so I definitely don't know him. Maybe it's because of Xiaoling Jue. Just because Night Owl and I said a couple of things to him, he holds a grudge. You nobles are also petty. Who are you calling petty? Before he could finish, the entire nest suddenly shook violently. Boom! A massive giant scorpion suddenly charged out from the rear passage, its 2 giant pincers sweeping across with an astonishingly fierce momentum. A soul spirit scorpion, I recognized it immediately. This creature was supposed to appear in Withering Valley, but now it was in the mine. The next second, I understood. It was Zhang Di. Before I could think further, the muscular kangaroo at the rear had already shot out violently. Bang! He punched the soul spirit scorpion, only managing to push the beast back a little. Even I could tell that this scorpion was not simple. Zhang Di, do you want to die? As Lu Heng spoke, Zhang Di and Xiaoling Jue also came out from behind. Sorry, Brother Lu, someone paid for this handsome guy's life. I'm just doing my job. Xiaoling Jue, do you have no shame? I really didn't expect the first person to explode would be Suzy Ying. His tone was almost out of control for the first time. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything, he said innocently, but he stood far apart from Zhang Di, clearly wanting to distance himself. I was wondering, since Zhang Di set up the trap, why did he only record 2 people? In the next instant, the ground beneath my feet suddenly gave way. It was too late to leave. The piece of ground I was standing on seemed to have been hollowed out from below long ago. I instantly lost my balance and plummeted straight down. I didn't even have time to grab onto anything before I disappeared from everyone's sight. Night owl, night owl. By the time they rushed over, the ground had already returned to looking as if nothing had happened, without a trace of disturbance.
Xiaoling Jue, what exactly did you do to him?
He looked up at Xiaoling Jue, his eyes full of anger, and when Xiaoling Jue saw him so out of control because of me, his expression visibly darkened. I don't know, this has nothing to do with me. After saying that, he turned and left. Hey, he's gone. Zhang Di, showing his big gold tooth, was also about to leave. Just then, the soul spirit scorpion fighting with the muscle kangaroo suddenly let out a sharp roar, as if the sound was wrapped in needles, piercing straight into the soul.
The muscular kangaroo immediately covered its ears and stepped back several paces. Then the soul spirit scorpion suddenly swung its tail, striking hard at the top of the nest. Boom! The entire nest began to collapse instantly, with countless rocks and dirt crashing down. Lu Heng's expression turned extremely grim. He didn't have time to chase anyone, and could only grab Zhao San and Su Ziying and rush forward. While sprinting, he didn't forget to retrieve the muscle kangaroo and the poison wind ghost leopard. This time, Zhang Di not only wanted to kill me, but he also wanted to wipe us all out in one go, completely blocking our escape route. The three of them could only run frantically towards the depths of the nest. At the last moment before the collapse completely buried them, Lu Heng dragged them into a passage, and the next second, dust sealed the entrance. They were trapped deep in the mine, and before finding an exit, they had to find me first. Uncle Lu, the night owl's light spot is right below us. What do we do now? Zhao San was anxious. Su Xing also stared intently at Lu Heng, holding her breath. Don't worry yet, the light spot is still there, which means he's temporarily fine. Once the surroundings are scanned clearly, we'll go find him. On the other side, I had already fallen into a deeper part of the mine tunnel. I coughed and staggered to my feet. My face and head are covered in mud. Fortunately, at the moment of the fall, I managed to pull Ming back. The next second, Ming reappeared, guarding by my side. He. I looked towards the sound and saw a golden little beast, the size of a wheel in the corner. It was full of energy, with thin and sharp claws, still covered in mud. I immediately understood that it was the one who had dug out the ground beneath my feet just now. Zhang Di, why do you want to kill me? Heh, laughter came from both the front and back, blocking the way forward and backward, their eyes looking at someone as if they were already doomed. With the fluctuation of soul power, they each summoned their beasts. In front was a fire wolf engulfed in flames, and behind was a strange bird emitting cold air. Night owl, you're pretty bad at dealing with people, to have offended both young Master Xiao and me at the same time. Zhang Di and Xiaoling Jue also walked out from behind. Zhang Di stared at Ming, barely able to hide the greed in his eyes. How about this? You destroy the contract and give me this beast, and I'll let you live. You promised me he wouldn't leave here. Young Master Xiao, just because I won't touch him doesn't mean my people won't. After he said this, he and his two subordinates laughed, but I didn't, because I knew from the start that this wasn't just about teaching me a lesson. It was about taking my life. So kid, what do you say? He acted like he had me cornered, without any defense at all. Was it Zhang Jilin who sent you? Zhang Di's smile didn't change, but there was a noticeable flicker in his eyes. Enough. In that instant, I already had the answer. Ming, almost as I spoke, both man and beast shot out directly. Buzz. The oppressive force of the Imperial bloodline exploded, and we had only one target, the fire wolf ahead. This is my only way out. Don't underestimate him. This kid isn't as simple as you think, but that person didn't take my words seriously at all. He was just about to command the firewolf to attack when he realized his beast was already cowering and howling, terrified by Ming's bloodline suppression. The man finally panicked, but just as Ming and I were about to reach him, I saw his expression suddenly change from panic to triumph. Not good. I forcibly stopped, but it was a moment too late. Swoosh! The golden little beast suddenly leaped from above. It had been lying in wait for my charge. The next second, its sharp claws pierced into my right shoulder, blood gushing out instantly, and the intense pain spread along my entire arm like an explosion. Got you. I clutched the wound, blood seeping through my fingers, facing a deadlock from front and back, surrounded by mad dogs eyeing my life and Ming's, while Zhao San and the others were still searching for me above. At this moment, I was truly driven to a dead end.